Hello, Maria. How are
Hello,
you
it's been a while.
today?
It's so
Lovely
nice
to
to see
see you
you.
again. Yes, likewise. Well, just saying hello to everybody who's watching. This is Maria. She helped us out during the Atlas Festival 1 year ago, exactly, more or less, and she helped us out by making the scores for the orchestra and for the choir. Well, maybe you can tell them yourself what you did for us and how our collaboration came about.
Yeah, so what actually happened that because of the situation that is Ukraine currently, almost no one was ready to come to our country. And one day I received a call from my friend who is one of the organizers in Atlas Weekend. And he
Yes.
told me that Within Temptation is ready to come to Ukraine, but only if there is somebody who is ready to help with the orchestration because only Sharon from the original band could come to Ukraine. And me at that time, I understood that it will be really complicated because we had only 1 month to create everything. But I
Yes.
just, yes, I'm ready. Let's start. And because also I was so inspired by Within Temptation and their music. Actually, when I only started my career as a classical composer, when I've seen your Black Symphony,
Oh,
I
really? I
understood
didn't even know that actually.
I
It's
was
news to
so
me too.
inspired because I always dreamt of using orchestra in contemporary music, in contemporary bands with rock music because I was a huge fan of your music. So, of course, I immediately agree. And I'm so happy that we met.
Yeah, well, for us, the same thing, because that made it possible for us even to perform at the festival, especially because it was. I was the only one able from the band to come over, as we had given everybody free for the holidays. And no, we're not going to do any festivals. And the last moment that we were asked for the festivals, like, okay, but then we have to check if anyone can come. And everybody was like, yeah, I'm so sorry, but I'm performing with this band and I'm going this. Everybody was like, okay, we're already tied up. And I was really happy to have you on board and yeah, making this happen, because actually it was also a very unique show for us because of the fact that I had performed with an orchestra a few times before, but only with the whole band. And this was for me the first time to go on my own. But it was, yeah, I must say, one of the most beautiful projects I've ever been involved to with. And yeah, so I'm looking at that with a lot of, yeah, love and I got a lot of inspiration from it also. Everybody just tried, to help us out and to make this happen. Like, for instance, Konstantin, he is the monitor guy that came all the way from Lviv. He just said, okay, I'm going to take my car, I'm going to drive to Kiev, and I'm going to help you out. And he was only supposed to do my in-ears, but then helped everybody out with
Yeah,
in-ears.
yeah,
So you saw
he was
everybody was
incredible.
helping everyone, and it was, yeah, very inspirational, and just trying to make something beautiful happen for the people in Kiev.
But how was it for you? Do you remember your feeling? Because like it's actually war in Ukraine, it's real war. And how was it for your team to make this decision to come? And also, it happened that just a few days before the festival supposed to happen, we had very bad shelling. Like Ahmadit Children Cancer Hospital was destroyed, and you
Yes.
didn't change your decision despite the danger.
Well, first of all, how do you get into a decision to go to Kiev in the first place? It's a process. I can't say that I was like immediately like, because I had been there before for the video with Alex Yarmak, and I at the time I was really convinced that with the air defense system and everything, it was very quite safe, relatively safe. Of course, there's always a risk to go to Kiev still, and it's not like you're on the front line or anything. And of course, it's always heavy. There can also something happen, of course, but the time that we had to go to the festival, and Russia had changed their tactics, how to attack Ukraine with, going underneath the radar system and attacking Kiev like this. And this children's hospital was like, okay, but then the app doesn't really work that well anymore, and that was for me a realization, like, okay, this is kind of more dangerous than I initiated in the first place. But I think, why do journalists go to a certain war area, or why do people stay in a war zone? I think because you feel, um, I don't know. You need to tell the story. I think maybe live it through, and especially because we made an album that, like, for a big part, was inspired by the war happening in Ukraine by Russia. Um, if you write about it, then you have to put your money where your mouth is as well. It's like, okay, then why not go there and also see it with your own eyes, because it's kind of safe to say, write about it from a distance and observe from a distance. But then you have to my opinion, for me myself, for myself, and for Robert as well, because he also came to Ukraine, of course. We both had the feeling like, okay, we need to see it with our own eyes, and we need to be there as we're talking about it. If we feel so connected, which we do, then we should go there as well, and be part of what's happening.
Yeah, because I was really amazed. And from our side, we tried to do everything possible because it happened that while I was preparing this course, we had constant power cuts. Sometimes it was like
Yeah.
2 hours of the electricity per day. And I had two laptops, which I charged, and I just worked to the last minute, even without the piano, because as a composer, I usually use the piano. I just was creating everything in my head, kind of building the scheme. And then when I had the electricity, I was like running, just
Yeah.
writing down all the details.
Yeah.
And it also happened that because the festival was delayed, it was quite complicated for our technical team and like to delay all the tickets and all the stages, sound engineers, and also the
Yes.
orchestra in the result was different. And how was it for you to understand that actually things that usually people are preparing for months,
Months. Yeah, I know.
and here we like have one day for everything in the result.
Yeah, we
You
had like,
trusted us in that.
yeah, well, it was crazy. It was really crazy because normally, like you say, you have like months of preparation, especially for you. You did the most work and most, because I know the songs by heart already. I've played them all my life since I was in the band, of course. And for you to dive in to make it your own in just a very these conditions, and within a month, that was crazy. And then that we had a rehearsal in only, I think, one day. I think we rehearsed in the morning to
It was
all
on the
together.
same day
But
as
yeah,
our
and the same day
concert.
as a concert, like
Yeah,
that's nuts. But it happened, and everybody was perfect. They were, it's like they were so professional. And yeah, I was very much amazed because, like I said, I know my music, but for others to adapt to it and to do it in the brilliant way that they did, yeah, I was really like, I was just blown away by it. So I was like really surprised, and it was like going like this on stage, like, oh, I really hope this is going to go well. But on the other hand, I had the rehearsals, and they were already like, for 95% already was perfect. So, but then to really do it with the pressure of an audience there that expects, of course, a real, yeah, well, a certain kind of quality, of course, and they got it because you were all so well prepared. Yeah, I can't still believe it, to be honest. But yeah, and
yeah,
like I said, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever been part of. And it was every time I came to the Ukraine, I met people that were so dedicated make something beautiful. Maybe also, with the video that we did with Alex Yarmark,
yeah,
the video creator of that video, Fool's Parade, to the festival, everybody was so involved to do their part, to
yeah,
make something in difficult circumstances, but still going for the art. And also because it's also about something, it's about your history, about this war. And yeah, I just was, yeah. And what I also find so beautiful to see that the Rasmus even came this year to the
yeah.
festival, that also other bands are coming to come play in the Ukraine again. I think that's really very very necessary, and I hope there will be more bands doing that. So yeah, that is another beautiful thing that happened because of last year. I think that more people might come, and that's also very very special.
I'm sure it's 100% because you started this with your example. You showed how music can bring people together, unite people together, because also from our organizational side, it was so complicated to understand how can we evacuate so
Yeah,
many
so many
people
people.
if
Yeah,
needed. Yeah, because actually, if I remember correctly, we're supposed to evacuate everyone in 8 minutes.
Oh,
because this
really?
is
I didn't
like
even know that. I was really
this
wondering,
is
like, how fast can you do this?
yeah. So everyone in technical crew was given the instructions how to do
Yeah,
it very quickly because this is the time for ballistic attack.
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
yeah, to come. And
Yes.
it was just incredible. We just crossed our fingers and hoped that it will become, and I think we are incredibly lucky. And also that Lumos Orchestra and the Yushan
Yeah.
Choir, it happened that
Yes.
for them, it was really complicated to come as well because they are from Lviv and they had a lot of different plans and they had their concert in Kyiv as well. But because they really love your music and conductor, Roman Kreslenko, he is your biggest fan.
Oh,
So
really? I didn't even know that. We didn't. We had just small
no,
talk before and after.
so he knew all the music from the inside, like
Oh,
what is
wow.
the shape, where is the chorus or the
Yeah.
bridge. So it also helped a bit him to understand how to conduct it. And
Yeah, exactly.
all the musicians and choir, they were learning the parts on their way to Kiev, actually just in the transport, singing parts in the chorus. It was just crazy, but I'm so proud that we didn't give up, that we
No.
managed to do so. It was kind of few sleepless nights for me
Yeah.
and Vlad Yaremchuk, how
Well,
to
for you
figure out this,
especially,
but
yes, because also the orchestra was a different orchestra than we initially we were working with, and then just a few days before we had a new orchestra,
yeah,
right? So
like
you had to
2 days
also work
before.
with them. Yeah, it's like, and you first thing you said like, "Don't worry about it, I'm gonna make it work." It's like how? No, yeah, but it is. Yeah, I think it's beautiful to see how many people, not just the two of us, but like everyone involved. There were so many people involved to make this happen,
Yeah,
and that was, I still get goosebumps from that because that gave me like. It's like, I don't know, I've never seen that before. Never ever in my life. Of course, there are always people that are trying to help, doing something good for a certain cause. But to see so many people just, you need each other to build something beautiful. It's easy for me to shine on stage, but if I don't have the right people, helping us out and, carrying us as artists, then there's nothing, so the whole orchestra, you and the choir and everybody around, all the technicians, also people coming. What I also loved to see is actually that there were so many people also, this year even more people came to the festival. To my opinion, I saw a picture just like from the ladies that helped us during the promotion side and everything. She showed me a picture of this year. I was like, oh my god, even more people came, even though the attacks are way heavier than last year
yeah.
even. And that's so. I think that's, yeah. I'm just blown away by that. That is for me so inspirational that I think, yeah, it's beautiful to see, painful and beautiful to see, and but still, like it's very inspirational that people are so resilient. That's so typically Ukrainian, to my opinion.
Yeah, I agree here with you because for me, and also like I was a part of this process as you, it was so incredible to see how united people were, how people helped each other, how people supported each other. Everyone was ready to do and work, even despite that it was night or I don't know, or their working day was finished, but everyone was so happy to help. And I think only because of this power of again power of music, power of how can we unite people with something that is invisible, as you
Yeah,
called the documentary invisible force. I think it's just incredible because so many people in Ukraine were writing me messages how this event helped them because war also brings dark time, and for a lot of people they needed some fresh air, some
yeah,
glimpse of light, some hope,
yeah,
because it's very hard when I don't know, like when your sky is only gray and
yeah,
rainy all the time.
yeah.
And would you like also to tell a bit more about the documentary, how it was made? Because I think it's incredible. You reach about 1 million views already.
Yeah, well, it went very fast. But many people started looking at it, and very quickly after we released it. And how it came together was that somebody asked us to do a documentary about the band, and we are like almost 30 years already as a band together in 1 or 2 years. And so we were like, yeah, but we're going to Ukraine now, and maybe it's nice to do a documentary about that. And so we got them on the idea to come along with us, and yeah, you know, it's also a way to keep the story alive from the Ukraine, you know, like what's happening, because it goes with waves, you know. There's a lot of things happening in the world, not just the Ukraine. And so, and it's logical that news shifts, you know, like, but yeah, in this way, we hope that people will keep remembering that there's a war going on, although it's, and lately it has been in the news a lot, and I'm really happy that people are writing about it, because that's what we wanted. And if the documentary can contribute a little bit to that in times when people forget a little bit because other news is in the front news again, then we have reached our message. You know, that's what we wanted to do. Although we had also some backlash in a way that there were a lot of, I think, probably Russian trolls trying to flag our documentary, and that's also why it wasn't visible after the almost million views that we had, which were we reached very quickly. It got put on hold, so people couldn't see it anymore. But finally, we are back on track again, luckily, and YouTube has given it free again, because to for people to watch it, and so please, everybody who hasn't seen it yet, just check it out, because it just tells the story about the Ukrainian people, how resilient they are, and how music unites. It's a very positive documentary, to my opinion, in a very dark time, and it might give that spark, you know, to make you realize when sometimes we feel powerless, that you can still do something, although it's a small contribution. You know, I think if we all do a little bit, if you're a journalist or whatever, or you are a musician like you, who thinks it's not important to write music, but it is important to write music, especially during these times, because that's one of the things that happened also in the documentary, is like that everyone, including you and also Blind Aid, said like, I didn't feel like that was, you know, I was allowed to make music, or music wasn't the thing we were waiting for or was necessary. And then eventually everybody came to the same conclusion quite quickly again, like, no, we do need music, and music does unite and does give hope. And yeah, if it can do that, that's the best thing you can bring as an artist, I think.
Yeah, I agree here with you because music is a language of our emotions, and
Exactly.
emotions, uh, the, yeah, they are so important, especially in this time when people, you know, they need this emotional kind of push to keep going. And what was your, I don't know, experience you remembered the most from Ukraine? Um, like, I don't know, maybe you learned something new, or just kind of emotionally, what was important for you? What do you remember the most?
Well, I keep repeating that. Is like the resilience, and also how friendly people were. You know, it's like I felt like I'd known everybody for a long time. Well, just met them for the first time. Everybody was very open about their emotions, which is not always common in every country. That people are really talking about their emotions. Maybe also because there's, you know, that it matters. You know, if you're not going to talk then about your emotions or what you feel or how you see the world or what your opinion is, when are you going to talk about it? And I felt like the Ukrainian people that I met were very open and very friendly, and yeah, very heartfelt. So I was really, yeah, I can't wait to go back actually again to meet everyone that I met at the time. Yeah, I'm still in contact with a lot of them. And so yeah, so that made a huge impression on me. It's like um, you take home with you a lot of emotions of people that you leave behind, because you feel guilty again for leaving as well. And also when you're here, like enjoying life, like nothing, because we don't. It's not in our daily life like it is with you, of course. And sometimes you feel guilty because you know there's a war going on and you're enjoying life. But also, I also saw what I also found very special is that life also goes on in your own country. There's still weddings, there's still parties, there's still dinner time, and that's also the part of that resilience that I've been talking about a lot. Is like people don't want to give up the normal life that the little bit left of their normal life. They don't want to give up that either, and they shouldn't. And but it's good to see that, and it's beautiful to see that. So that's all those things which are normal in a way, but not normal in during wartime in a way as well, because people in here in the Netherlands probably, or anywhere else where we are living in a free world more or less, um, are thinking like they must be having daily shells on every moment of the day. And in certain parts, that's the case. But in certain parts or certain parts of the day, you are able to go to work or do the thing you need to do. But then you have that crazy schizophrenic thing in the background that it can happen any moment, that there it will be bombs coming your way or drones coming your way. And that's the schizophrenic, scary thing, of course, because it looks like a normal day, but then all of a
Mhm.
sudden you're in a shelter again.
I remember we had this conversation even, I think it was maybe day before our performance. I just was finishing some parts and I heard bombing in my,
Yeah.
yeah, just next to me. Like, okay, I can't die today.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just thought, okay, maybe I can die after Sunday, but today I need to finish this
we
and
have to
kind of,
finish.
yeah, we haven't finished the
Crazy,
scene.
yeah, yeah. How you think, start thinking it that way, yeah. But yeah, that's
Is
also
there,
kind.
yeah, sorry.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Is there any message you would like to share with people around the world um, after this experience you had?
Well, um, what I want to share is like, yeah, like I said, how beautiful your country and your people are, and that's
Because I really loved, I was on the concert during
yeah.
your tour, and I was amazed by your audience because people who were there, they were just incredible. They were so intelligent and so supportive. So I think that your audience, it's again, it's like an invisible power that is changing this world for better, and your songs with this together. And I think that, yeah, what you are doing already, it's just incredible. Again, speaking not only about Ukraine, but just about everything that is going in the world that we can change, and we have this power to change something, even if we think that we are like the only one in this.
I think, well, the thing is that maybe the message that I want to give to everyone who's watching and also other people is like, there's always, like I said before, if you don't speak up now, when is the time to speak up? And for everybody, the subject that you choose, if it's the Ukraine, if it's Sudan or Gaza or something else in the other country, it's, everybody takes their battles, and it's always good to do something instead of, it's better than doing nothing or questioning those who are actually doing something good, actually saying, well, yeah, but what about this or what about that? Or, you know, you can only sometimes focus on one thing. If everybody does something in a certain part of the world to make, things, to talk about things, to stand for something, and to, yeah, I think that's very good. I think a lot of people are awake now, like you see a lot of demonstrations, and a lot of people speaking up. Like I said, I saw Imagine Dragons playing in certain countries where they were not allowed to talk about the Ukraine or their flag or anything, and they still did it by in their own creative
Yeah,
way. And
incredible.
yeah, I think that was really I was really like, yeah, go on. But it's in every subject of the world because, like you said, there's so much going on. But as we yeah, also going to the Ukraine wasn't like a one day decision. It was something that grew on us gradually because we were supposed to play on Atlas Festival when the war broke out in 2022.
I didn't
And
know.
yeah, and then it got canceled, and then they asked us to do a live performance on like a marathon with all these bands all over the world trying to raise awareness. And then we got in contact with all these organizations. And if you get to know people, every time more and more people you get to know, the more a headline is not a headline anymore. Like I say a lot of times, because then it becomes a face. It becomes your face. It becomes Pavlov's face. It becomes Oksana's face. Everybody that I met over there, and then it's like that gives that extra emotion and drive to you. You just get into involved more and more, and because you have a personal connection. And I think that like I said before, it's important for everyone to you can do something small in your own way, donating, or you can, talk with your friends who think differently, who are, believing all the propaganda of Russia. We need to have, instead of just being angry with people who don't understand each other, we also need to build bridges. for
Yeah.
those who are on the other side thinking very differently, how to get them to see a broader picture of, to my opinion, our reality.
And we really would love to have you in Ukraine again, maybe on our Victory Day.
I would love to. When? Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. It would be just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm very glad that we were able to work with each other and that we got to meet each other this way. I think we'll always be connected. And you're in
Yeah.
England right now, right? At the moment.
Today, yes, but I'm in Ukraine really, really often because
Okay.
yeah, I'm working between two countries and all my family is in Ukraine. I'm here the only one. And I really miss Ukrainian people because they are wish to live. That energy they have, it's
Yeah,
something that I'm missing so much because again, we had this moments in our lives where we were living under curfews or attacks, and now we really kind of feel how to appreciate life, and this yeah, life is blooming there despite the war and what is going on. And again, I wish we met with you in better time and we didn't have this all crazy experience, that we
yeah,
could prepare everything just perfectly, orchestra parts, rehearsals, but at the same time I'm so happy that we had this crazy experience because we've seen each other in the worst time. We've seen
that's
each
true.
other how we behave when we are, I don't know, under stress, without sleep, and that no one gave up. Everyone was delivering the best possible result that was, I don't know, impossible and possible in that conditions. And the help of everyone, the help of your team and people who we've met the first time in our life.
Yeah, exactly. And
Uh,
just everybody just clicked also, like everybody did their parts.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
well,
is something I will carry through all my life, I think, because again, here, even in Britain, big studios, but it's mm, it's different. Yeah,
I
everything
can
is just
imagine.
like a workflow. But in Ukraine, there was life and fire.
Yeah. Everybody's in the moment very much. I think
Yeah,
also that's maybe the thing, where maybe when you're don't have all these attacks constantly, that you don't feel the immediate, need to be expressive or have that fire, because in Ukraine, everybody's really living now in the moment very much. Yeah, I think that's something that I recognize what you say. Yeah, totally. Well, Maria, thank you so much for joining me and meeting up again after a year.
yeah,
And I'm so happy that you went to you started an education also in England.
yeah, like a
And
film composer.
yeah, that is film composer. That's like wow, that's such a I think that must be a dream come true for you. I remember that you said, "Yeah, I got
Yeah,
in."
because they take only 10 people per year.
Yeah, that's very small chance.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy for you that you finally got your dream come true in that direction and still are, doing so much for the Ukraine at the same time.
And thank you so much you for this. And also I invite everyone who haven't seen yet the documentary, please welcome, because yeah, this is incredible work and it's very moving and it's very true about what is going on in Ukraine at the moment. And I'm so grateful that you were the first one actually who, like made this pass through the danger and show other people, other bands, that it's possible to come here. It's possible to unite people with the music, and it's incredible. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much. Well, lovelies and everybody who's there, thank you so much for watching this. I'm gonna share this later on so people can look it back, and you can see the documentary if you want to. And I'm happy that nothing happened on the second edition of the Atlas Festival,
Yeah,
because that was an amazing edition as well. And so happy that it eventually went through as well. Hope to see you all in Ukraine very soon. Hopefully, there will be a Liberation Day
yeah.
uh, not far from this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye
You too.
bye.
Bye bye. Thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time.